Hello everyone, it's Mish here and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thanks for stopping by and I really hope you come back for more. And if you have been returning, I thank you so much for all your lovely comments, for supporting me and being engaged. I just love it very much. Today's project is going to be working in the Daphne's Diary Gluebook journal. I started this roughly a year ago, I don't know exactly. And every page that is in the book, there is a video tutorial for. And we've done some really cute little pages. It's filling up, but there's still room for plenty more yet. I have received issue number 2. It is April the 13th today, and this video will come out on Friday. I received this about a couple weeks ago, but I already had last week's video done, and so I just haven't really used it. In saying that, there are some nice images here and some pretty papers, but I was a little bit disappointed in the magazine, as I normally go through and think, oh, I'd like to do something with this and that, and I could probably get 4 or 5 projects out of one magazine, where this one, maybe it was because some of it is Easter related and Easter has gone by now, but I do really love these little bunnies, and even though Easter has gone by, it's still spring, or it's coming into spring here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where I live. Today it was torrential rains and about 13 degrees, so I know when it starts to get up to 10, 12, 13, not too long before spring's going to be here. So these little guys just make me so happy. So I'm going to go away, I'm going to figure out some kind of little project that I want to do with it. I'll find maybe some background papers. I kind of already know where it's going to go in the journal. It's just a matter of getting everything prepared, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing here. Well, as soon as I saw this image, I had an idea in my head. I just wasn't sure exactly the execution of it, but I think I got it down pat. I did last night, though, before I went to bed, because I started it yesterday, but I had other projects going on, is I took a little bit of my glossy accents, I shook it up real good, and then her eyes and her flowers, I don't know if that picks up well, but I put the glossy accents there, and it's just elevated that a little bit, and I really love it. And then I've cut out this image. This image I actually got from issue 1, and I think it was towards the front. There was yeah, it was towards the front here, page I think 6, and I just cut that out, and then I took the glossy accents as well and dabbled it around, kind of like it was little raindrop, little water drops on the flower. I don't know if that picks up well, but yeah, so I thought that I was going to use that image as well. And then I cut out from the same issue as the bunny, number 2. On this page here, there was a crafting thing where you took an egg carton, part of it, an egg crate, and then you just wrap this around it. But I cut out of one of them just a little panel that I want to use as well. And back in issue 1, there were these stickers that were in their washi strips. So I thought I might make use of this. I'm not exactly sure. But those are sort of the images that I used. So I'm going to get that out of the way. And then for the background, I just copied the background that was on the bunny. And I'm going to use that as my background paper. I've already taken out from the journal where it's going to go. So I'm going to have it on this side, but this goes in there, so it'll actually be opposite the beaded butterflies, which I thought would be a good little place for it. So when I'm finished, I'll just put that back in the diary. So this is the panel, sorry, I got an itch, that we're going to use. Now the project is going to be, and I have a little sample here, but the samples weren't working that well, so hopefully it's going to work. And I've modified this, but essentially we're going to pull down this, and then the bunny's going to appear at the top. Okay, so imagine that the top is the bunny and the bottom is our little card pull, and we're just going to pull, peekaboo, peekaboo bunny. So in order to try to do this, you're going to need a piece of paper. One-sided is fine. I just went to my scrap paper and found a little piece of scrap paper that I thought would go well with what I want and with the opposite page. And this page measures 12 inches across by 5.5 wide. Okay, and then I scored at 3 3/4, 7 3/4, and 11 3/4. So 3 3/4, 7 3/4, 11 3/4. So that gave me my 3 3/4, my 7 3/4, and my 11 3/4, and then it left this little flap, this little hinge, I guess. And I've already put some double-sided tape there. So then I wanted to make a little notch here for my plastic page protector, which is going to be my runner. Now that's hard to see, but I took just a page protector and I cut it, and I cut a strip off it, and the strip measures 2 1/4 across by, this one here measures 11, but it is going to depend on how big your card is. What you want is that it fits a little bit snug, but with some room, obviously, for it to roll around your spool side. Okay, so we're going to need that. And then to make these little notches, I just measured in a 1/2 inch on each end, 1/2 inch. And then I actually put this back on the scoreboard, and between those two marks, I marked it on the back of the page. I scored just between the marks, and then I took my scissors and I cut down and I cut out that notch so that I knew that it would be the same. Okay, so again, I went in a half, 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 measured down 1/4 and cut it out. Right, so our next step is we're going to put our cellophane on. And I want this, eventually, I want the join to be up top, and I want the outer bit, or the bit that adheres down, I want it to be on the top. So when it rolls around, it's not necessarily going to get caught up in there. At least that's what we're going to attempt to do here. So I'm just going to take this off. I used the double-sided score tape, so I knew that I would get it exactly where I wanted it. And the thing about it is that you don't, if you're using runner tape, you don't want to get any on this side, or it's just not gonna go around the spool. I don't want to pull it really tight because I want to leave enough space, let's hope that works, for it to run around the spool. Okay, so I think that's good. So I'm going to pull the join bit to the back. All right, so in this panel, so when this closes up, so this is my center panel, eventually that's going to close, and then we're going to fold that over and we're going to adhere it to that side. So when that's done, this is going to be your front panel, the one that sits to facing you. So that's your middle panel. That's this one here. So I want my card, and it's going to depend on whether you want to, well, actually with this instance, it's going to work the best if you actually pull from the bottom, because then your bunny's going to appear at the top. So I want a notch at the bottom. I've already found my center, so this is pretty easy. This was 4 inches, so it was just 2 inches over. I do have a handy dandy ruler for those odd measurements. This is a Tim Holtz center fine ruler, and I just find that I've used that so much. And then I'm just going to take a circle punch, or you can just draw a little half circle there. I'm trying to line that up so it looks relatively even, and then I'm just going to cut that out. So that's my front panel. So the part that I want showing is this panel. So eventually that's going to be the part that I'm going to see. So I want to adhere this at the top, because I'm going to pull down, so I don't want the bottom attached, and only at the top. And I'm going to put this down with it facing towards myself. I kind of looked at this and I couldn't really decide which was the directional part, but I liked this to show at the bottom. So that's the side that I'm going to do. So I'm going to take some more double-sided tape, and I'm going to take just enough, and I'm going to put it right where that join is, because that join I know is not going to go over the top because I'm going to adhere this. So I want to center this there, and then I want to line this part up in the center of this, because when this folds over, we want to make sure that there's enough room on each side of your card so that it's going to flow well when you pull it down. So I'm kind of centering it in the center and the bottom, and then I'm adhering it there. Okay, so in theory, when we grab that, it should pull down. It should pull down, but it's not pulling down. There we go. Okay, so that's pulling down. All right, so then hopefully when we get our bunny on there. So our bunny, when we pull down, is going to pop up from the top. So we want, when we put it on the track, we want the bunny facing down, okay, because it's going to pop up, and we want it adhered at the bottom. So we're going to put, and I just need a narrow strip on the bunny because it's smaller than my actual strip, and again, I don't want to put it on the strip itself because the strip is wider than the bunny and it might stick things down. Right, so I want to make sure that that's in its proper place. Okay, and then we're going to put that face down, and I want its ears, and I want it relatively center on that strip. All right, let's try that. And then we're eventually going to close that down. And then when we pull it, it should, if I can get a hold of it there, it should pull up. I think I'll have to put it all together first. But it should pop the bunny up, like so. All right, let's get this strip down and see what happens. So when I put this strip down, because the other way that we could, no, we couldn't. I was going to say we could wrap it around and put the strip down this way, but that's going to be seen on the front. So we're going to have to tuck it in there. And by tucking it in, I mean when we put it down on there, we want to make sure that the bunny leg is on the inside of it and not being stuck down too. And I'm not pulling it really tight. I'm just making it adhere to give it a little bit of room. And then if we need to adjust, that's fine. Okay, so when we pull that, we should get our bunny peek out the top. Oh my gosh, he's cute. All right, so now I'm just going to get it centered down. I thought about decorating all around the page, but we're going to do some decorating on the top and on the card itself. So I just want to get this down, and I'm just going to use, I think I'm going to use some score tape at the top and the bottom. If you were doing this as a card for somebody, like you wanted to send it in the mail or make a little card, you could make a little pocket too, and like for a gift card or something on the side. But, well, you know what? I think I just might make a little pocket. You never know what we might want to do later on with it. Okay, so we'll get this, and I like the score tape because the score tape it really sticks well. So this is what I use for making journals and books and stuff. the downside is once it's on, it's on. And I think I'm good with it being in the center. Okay. So now it's down. Let's see about, and the thing we can put on here too is we can put a little pull tag. And make sure that it's gonna flow here. I don't want his leg to be caught up. It gets off the runner a little bit. There we go. Okay, so so he just pulls up and he's like, peekaboo. So I thought I would decorate. I got my brother labeler out, and I made a saying. I couldn't find one in Daphne's diary, so I printed off a label, which is here somewhere, and it just says, "Always remember, somebody loves you." And I thought that I would put the flower that we got from the magazine. I have a little doily here that is just my little private doily. Or not my private doily, but I didn't get it out of the magazine. That I thought I'd put down just to break up the background a little bit. So add a little decoration there. And then put that down. And I don't even care if it lays completely flat, because then that adds a little dimension too. Okay, I used to make these cards a lot for gift cards years ago, and this is just a little bit bigger than a gift card, so I wasn't sure. The gift cards are quite firm too, like they were gift card holders. Okay, and then I thought I would take the saying and cut it so that I love my brother P-Touch. You can put the white on black background. You can put the gold on black. I do have the Dymo one as well, which I like as well, but they have different uses. Oops, it's a bit crooked. Alright, put that. Sorry about my head gets in the way. Today the weather has been crazy. Wanda, you're absolutely right. The weather in Nova Scotia is one thing to another. We have a saying here in Nova Scotia that just says, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, because it's always changing. And then I have this, always remember, somebody loves you. And that's where I thought I would use one of these washi tapes, I think. Kind of like them. And we'll get that down. Went over to, I didn't get to Tim Hortons yesterday. Today's Sunday. This is going to go out on Friday. Friday being April the, I'm not really sure. April something. All right, so I put that down, maybe about there. And I really love these little stickers. Always remember, somebody loves you. But what about if we use, I do like that little bear, but he's not a bunny. But does that matter? I don't think it matters. Because I could put the little bear kind of sitting on top of that, as that's what we have. And he may not be a bunny, but he's showing his love. And we'll just maybe collage that a little bit. And that's a quick and easy project. I would recommend, though, that you, before you actually use something irreplaceable, just give it a go on some scrap paper, some scrap cardstock. And then for the little pull here, what we can do as I can, because I think it helps to have a little notch there. What we can do is just get a piece of, this is my stash of stuff. I think that might work. The colors are kind of bright and cheerful. Or maybe this one. Oh, I like that too. Just get a little scrap of material. And we'll get our little attacher. And we'll just make a little pull tag. So that, there we go. You can use whatever you like. But then this will be, it'll be easier to pull that out. Is that too wide, do you think? Oh, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so we'll just get a piece in the back, line it up a bit in the center, like so, and just use our little attacher, or normal staple, it doesn't matter, whichever, and make a little pull tag. So when that's in there, it's kind of obvious that we want to pull down. Okay, well, let's stick it in the book. I'll stick it in, and you don't want to watch me fasten that down. And once I get it into the book, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have it all put back into the journal. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum. And then here we are, right across from the beaded butterflies, and I think it just works so well together. The other thing that I did, because I had noticed that it was, I had wanted to put a flower in the bunny's hands. So this was just a flower that I had gotten just from some offcuts that I keep in a little envelope. And so I just kind of glued the little flower in place, the little daisy, which I thought was cute. So yeah, so there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed that. The rest of the day, I'm hoping to get another video done in my junk journal series, A Garden Story. I've been working in that, and I'm absolutely loving that as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, hopefully there'll be another video this week. Until we meet again, though, I hope you stay safe and well, and bye for now.